Hi, everyone. I am Tony Giarusso, the Associate Director at the Center for Spatial Planning, Analytics, and Visualization at Georgia Tech. Happy to be here today to introduce myself and our center as you are prospective students and give you a little bit of background about myself and our center. I have a background in biology. I did my undergraduate work at Georgia State here in Atlanta, where I was raised. After my undergraduate studies, I decided to join the Peace Corps and went to Africa to be an aquaculture extension agent, where I taught people how to raise fish in Burundi, Gabon, and Zambia from 1993 to 1998. And it was there, actually, in Gabon, where I discovered GIS, believe it or not. I was living in a village where there was a gold company who was there mapping out gold deposits, and they had one of the earliest versions of a geographic information system, and I just got to I've always loved maps, and so once I saw that kind of a map in my mind, it was a map that could answer questions, so to speak. I really was interested in it. And so after I wrapped up my time in Africa with the Peace Corps, I decided to go to graduate school and apply to many different places, but decided on Georgia Tech because I'm from Atlanta, and the school was so welcoming to me and also very well renowned at that point, as it is today. So I joined the school in 1998 and started as a graduate research assistant with Dr. Mike Elliott, who's still a professor here, and during my first year, and did some environmental planning work. And then in my second year, I got a job at what was then called the Center for GIS, which is now CSPAV, or the Center for Spatial Planning, Analytics, and Visualization, working for Dr. Steve French, who's still here as a professor, who just stepped down from being the dean of the college a few years ago. And I stayed on after my graduation in 2000, and I've been here for 23 years doing various research projects, mostly focused on natural resource management as it pertains to GIS and building decision support systems for agencies like the Georgia Department of Natural Resources, the City of Atlanta, and a few others. But most of my work focuses on creating visualization tools such as interactive maps or web portals that provide detailed geographic information on a certain subject matter. So the work I do for Department of Natural Resources is focused on coastal and marine planning and wetlands mitigation. And in the City of Atlanta, I've done tree canopy assessments, 3 different canopy assessments over the last 15 years. So it's just a couple of the things I do. I've also done work with the Diane Fossey Gorilla Fund International in Rwanda, mapping out mountain gorilla ranging patterns and looking at how development around the national park in Rwanda, the Volcanoes National Park, has encroached upon the gorilla habitat, and what is Rwanda doing to kind of balance development with conservation. So that's kind of why I like GIS. As you can see with my background, I get to work on a lot of different things. Anything that has a spatial component to it, I work on it, and it gets me to dip my hands in a lot of different things. When I'm not working at Georgia Tech, I'm an avid disc golfer. If you haven't ever heard of disc golf, you can look it up. We have a lot of great disc golf courses in Atlanta, and I'm out every weekend playing disc golf. And I actually just became the advisor of the first Georgia Tech Disc Golf Club. So, you know, if you come to Georgia Tech and you like disc golf and you like GIS, you know, I'm the one you need to talk to. As I mentioned previously, I'm the Associate Director of the Center for Spatial Planning, Analytics, and Visualization. Our center was founded in the late 1980s by Dr. Bill Drummond, who's a professor in city and regional planning, and Steve French, and a researcher named Mike Rowan from Georgia Tech Research Institute. So we've been around for quite a long time. Our center right now is run by Subro Guhatar-Kuta, one of your professors, also the director of the Masters of Urban Analytics at Georgia Tech. Shubro has a half-time appointment with the School of City and Regional Planning. So he's a teacher, and he's also the director of our research center. We have 2 or 3 other researchers right now with kind of broad backgrounds. Some are engineers, some are 3D visualization, computer scientists. Dr. Cleo Andrus is also part of our center as an adjunct, or actually a full-time member now, and she runs the Friendly Cities Laboratory, where she looks at a lot of different things related to social networking in particular. And she also has a part-time appointment in the College of Computing. At CSPAV, we hire students routinely. I think currently we probably have 4 or 5 PhD students working for us, and maybe 5 or 6 graduate students, and even some undergraduate students. We hire a lot of city planning graduate students, Masters of Science and GIS students, and Masters of Urban Analytics students. But we also hire students from across the university. It really doesn't matter if someone has the skills that meet our needs. Of course, we are amenable to talking with them and hiring them. We also host the Imagine Lab at the center. The Imagine Lab is in charge of 3D visualization of campus and kind of managing campus facilities, creating augmented reality and virtual reality tours of the campus. So if you're interested in that, which is starting to become a pretty big thing in planning, we would be the people to talk to. We work with a lot of different colleges across the university for different research projects, industrial systems engineering, civil engineering, environmental engineering, earth and atmospheric sciences, public policy. We work with all of them because most of the time when research occurs, it usually has a spatial component, and we are the leaders of spatial analysis and visualization at Georgia Tech. So you can't go wrong really with working for us. We work on a variety of projects, and most of them kind of fit with the name of our center. It's usually analysis-based projects that end with some visualization components. So when I first started working at the center, a lot of things that we did were reports, to be quite honest, or creation of data. And now a lot of the things that we deliver are living. So we might do some analysis, for example, on tree canopy in the city of Atlanta, where we use satellite images to derive and quantify canopy, and then we aggregate that to different geographies and make decision support tools so that the public can interact with the data, and the employees of the city of Atlanta can use it to help them make decisions. So it's kind of an ongoing thing where our interactive maps are out there in perpetuity, really. So that's kind of a brief summary of our center. We definitely hire students, like I mentioned, quite often. And if you're interested in learning more about us, you can contact myself, or you can contact really any of our researchers. Just look us up at cspav.gatech.edu, and we'd be happy to talk to you. And congratulations to all of you who've already been accepted to the program, and to those of you who are just interested in the program and kind of feeling your way through it. I'd like to end by saying Georgia Tech is really an amazing university. There's a broad variety of disciplines that you can interact with. The city itself is a great living laboratory for planners in particular. Graduates of our programs are pervasive in the city of Atlanta and the Southeast, really across the nation, but in particular in Atlanta, in planning, local government planning agencies, consulting firms, and nonprofits as well. So we have a good network here in Atlanta, and you wouldn't do wrong by coming to our school. So I hope to see you in person one day. Thanks.